Good morning, church. Pastor Matthew has asked me to talk about my job role at the hospital and about what it's like working in the NHS at the moment due to coronavirus. I work at Bradford Royal Infirmary and I'm a physiotherapist. I specialise in the area of respiratory care and I work mainly on the children's wards but also on the adult wards and the intensive care unit. At the moment, due to the virus affecting mainly adults, most of my time is spent on the adult wards and helping on the intensive care unit. A respiratory physiotherapist is someone that helps to clear mucus and phlegm, or you might want to call it sputum, from someone's chest to help them to be able to breathe easier. And we also are responsible for making sure that patients are on the right amount of oxygen whilst they're unwell in hospital. You may have heard on the news about people with coronavirus needing breathing machines whilst they're on the wards, called CPAP machines. So we help to set these machines up and monitor patients while they're on it. Things are very different at the moment. One of the main things is how busy it is at the hospital. We usually have one intensive care unit. At the moment we have two, and both are full of patients with coronavirus. We usually have one adult respiratory ward, but at present we have three. And again, these are full of people with the coronavirus, and the vast majority of them are using these breathing machines to help them, to help support their breathing. One of the other main things that's different is the use of our personal protective equipment, donning and doffing as they call it. We have to put this on in a very specific way, but more importantly, we have to take it off in a very specific way. We have to wash our hands between taking each piece of equipment off. We have to be very careful to not get the virus onto any of our scrubs underneath our PPE, and we also need to sterilise our shoes when we come off the unit. Whilst we're wearing it, we do get very hot, we're unable to have a drink and we can't go to the toilet. During our break times we have to stay in very specific areas, and if we are to go to other areas of the hospital then we have to change out of the scrubs we're wearing and put fresh clothes on. I think one of the hardest things is feeling a sense of helplessness, that there often is very little that we can do due to the nature of the condition. We will give a patient a breathing machine, but then it is a matter of waiting. People do get better, but equally a lot of people don't. Working in the role that I do, I am used to dealing with death, and whilst it's never easy, I think the hardest thing at the moment is dealing with the scale of what is happening in a very short space of time, and that's something that all of us as healthcare professionals are finding it very difficult to deal with emotionally and to be able to get our head around it. I know God's mercy and I know His grace and I feel His peace inside me as I work, but it's taken me quite a long time to accept that equally it's okay to feel heartbroken and incredibly sad. Romans 8 talks about creation groaning, and that even for us as believers we groan inwardly as we await the redemption of our bodies. And I think never have those words felt as real as they do now. God is at work though. My colleagues, some of them have been asking me to pray for them, not so much one-to-one, but at home, asking me to go home and to be praying for them. They've also been asking me about church, about how we are managing to worship together, and in their words they've said that they feel that I'm lucky to have the support of the church family around me. So that has opened up more conversations and it's enabled me to be able to invite them to come and join us and worship with us on a Sunday from our own homes. It's also for the patients that are very unwell and it's therefore very difficult to communicate with them. It's an honour to be able to stand by their bedside and to be able to hold their hand and to be able to silently pray for them, knowing that actually I may be the only person that is praying for them by name. Pastor Matthew has also asked me for some prayer points. It would be great if you could be praying that we would have enough beds, enough equipment and enough staff to provide all of the care that we need for anyone that walks through the doors of BRI and other hospitals in the coming weeks and months. Pray that we can provide the right care in a timely manner. Pray particularly for staff, for their physical protection and their emotional well-being. And pray for those that are in power, that they would make the right decisions in regards to the provision of personal protective equipment, that they would be accountable, and that all healthcare workers would have access to the right PPE that they need for as long as we need it. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you all again when we can.